Hello YouTube, this is Pokach, and we're gonna discuss...
Gen 9.
Yep. So how do we start this? Let's just start with,
The names of the games. Pokemon Violet and Pokemon Scarlet. Pokemon Violeta y Pokemon Escarlata.
Right. It's gonna be based off Spain.
The Iberian Peninsula, which is Portugal y España.
Yep. Can we just speak English because not all the audience is gonna understand Spanish?
But there's some things we have to talk about in Spanish because of the region.
Yeah, we will. We will get to that. So because the reason you got that information is because of the map, right? It showed the peninsula.
Yeah, it showed the map of in game, and also in the trailer they showed the map.
Right. Okay. And it's interesting. Scarlet, Violet. It's like Violet is like purple, right?
Yep. Scarlet is red.
So.
Or shade of.
A shade of red. It's a shade of. Technically, it's a shade of blue that looks more purple, right? Mm-hmm. Violet, and then red is Scarlet is a shade of red.
Mm-hmm.
That part is interesting. A lot of people are saying it's a soft reboot.
Oh, because we're going back to tradition with colors?
Yeah. And because, like how the DS, how like black and white was like the last of the DS, and that was like a reboot. Also because of the open world, the description of the game says open world. Another interesting thing, throughout the trailer, there was like a lot of symbolism. Like there was a bag of a certain symbol towards the end, right before they start showing the gameplay itself. There was this these like plaques or something.
Yeah, it looks like they depicted an orange and grapes.
Yeah. And the orange had like a stem.
Mm-hmm.
And that stem has been shown throughout some of the starters or something. They say there's a connection to that. Or...
Well, it's because that stem kind of look a little bit like the stem on the fire starter, but that may not mean anything. It's just
true. It's just to symbolize the grape. But what's interesting is there was grapes on the table.
Yeah, there was. If I'm mistaken, I don't know if there was oranges next to it, but I do know there was grapes.
I think there might have been something. Could be like there was grapes in the table.
Yeah.
And there was grape.
In a sandwich.
In a sandwich, but there was grape in the table.
Yeah.
And there was a plaque showing grapes. That was fascinating. There's a lot of symbolism.
Yeah, because when the policeman went into
because it was live action at first.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of symbolism, and then it transitioned to
the game footage.
To the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had to have filmed it in the studio because you saw they showed the logo for Game Freak.
That looked like it was edited in.
It could have been.
Yeah, because that looked like a neon light. It looked like it was edited in. It could still be the offices of Game Freak.
It could still be because they could have taken one of the rooms and just decorated it as like something out of Indiana Jones, like
an explorer kind of like an adventure film. Yeah, like
exactly.
The Office, but has a lot of old relics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like an open world game, and then they start showing the gameplay, which is it really looks early stages.
Oh, very.
It looks rough, but there's some like of the Pokemon models that improved over Sword and Shield, like more detail and textures for Pokemon. That's a step up.
Yeah, you saw the scales on Survivor. You saw the glow, shininess. Like it looks more steel on the Magnemite.
Exactly. So that has improved. Also, the fact that some of the battles in the website show screenshots, and some of the battles are on the spot, the way Legends Arceus is, and also like you see how
Hisui and Zork
is there. Yep. So Pokemon from Hisui, and yeah, it shows several like Pokemon in kind of in the natural habitat in the trailer, and then it shows your house. You kind of
looks like a villa.
Yes, a villa, which is a villa, and villas are common in Spain. So yeah.
So maybe your main MC has some monies.
Yeah, because that looks like a very nice looking villa. Like it's pretty big.
It looks like it could be pricey. And also it looks like your character could be from like in a private school.
Yeah, because of the uniform. So your character might be from a wealthy family. Possibly. I mean, in Sword and Shield, you do come from a nice house in the countryside. It is a pretty big house. But again, it's a countryside, it's probably cheaper. But yeah.
Oh, another thing that I had to point out, the reason people were saying that it was in Spain is because La Sagrada Familia, which is pretty much like a church, the Basilica Temple, Sagrada Familia, uh, unfinished minor basilica in the district of Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain.
Yep. So that church is. Oh yeah, it looks like that building. Looks like the
They
building.
they
Yeah.
showed a few shots of it, and it looks like a lot like this.
Yep. So this is Spain confirmed, Gen 9 confirmed. Okay, so um, the trailer showed like Pokemon in a natural habitat. We started seeing a lot of Pokemon from other gens, so nothing new. All the Pokemon shown in the game. Well, game footage not final, but whatever that's considered, if that's considered footage or whatever, whatever gameplay, if that's considered gameplay, um, it mostly just showed old Pokemon.
Yeah, which
But
is interesting because now we're thinking that they could either stay within the realm of 999 Pokemon, or they could pass 1,000. But the reason we're thinking we're not past 1,000 because Gen 9 is always an odd number to work with. So they might leave the 1,000
for Gen 10,
for Gen
yeah.
10 when we reach the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, that makes sense. We might have 900 something, or even up to 999.
Yeah.
Because Gen 9, 999.
Yeah, they could always do that. Because there'll be a lot of hype over the 199 Pokemon. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, that'll lead to a lot of hype.
Mm-hmm.
For that magical 1,000. But the only new Pokemon shown were the starters.
Exactly.
No legendaries, just
No
starters.
legendaries, which is always interesting.
And the starters had, when they showed the English names, apparently there's like a lot of symbolism within the names themselves, the English translated, because the translation team is a separate team, and they try to like do like puns or different stuff inspired by
the region
or just different stuff yeah. So
and I decided to go out of my way and see what's out there in the Twitter worlds and the social media to see what people were talking about, because people are loving the starters, which is great. I also love seeing fan art and people being really excited about a new generation. And then I took some of that, and I did my own research, and I found that it seems that all of the starters' names are two-parters. So if you pretty much divide it in half, and one part of the name means something and the other part means another thing. So if you start with the cat, which is the grass starter, the sprigatito, so sprig means a small stem bearing flowers taken from a bush or plant, like a sprig of holly. Where gatito
means
which
little
means
cat.
little cat in Spanish.
Yeah, or kitten.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. That one's easy.
That was pretty easy.
Well, at first we're like, what's a sprig? And
Yeah,
it's
I know.
sprig. I was like,
know.
sprig. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it came to us.
I'm
not saying this is final, but
that one I could see where they. I mean, come on.
Exactly. It's like, I mean, the weed cat. I love.
Yeah, people are saying that it looks like weed.
Well, I mean, if you see the
leaf.
head, the leaf,
the leaf.
I mean, come on. And the eyes are pinkish. Come on.
Bruh. I mean, do you notice that Galarian Typhlosion looks like a stoner?
Uh-huh.
I use him, so he cuts it look like a stoner. I mean, that guy that did him slander. Apparently, the leak models were not the full
No, because we were playing a game. He has flames and they look awesome.
So the leaks just show Typhlosion without the flame, and people were saying it looks bad. But then if you actually play the game, he has purple flames that look like ghost flames. Like, that's badass.
It's based off Will of the Wisps.
So I hate when people like base an entire thing off leaks. Like, oh, it's, So don't, every time you see leaks, take it with a grain of salt. Or even if they turn out to be true, the game is gonna show them in a different light anyways. Don't judge a book by its cover, I would say. So next starter is Fuecoco. Yeah.
So Fuecoco, part of it is Fue for fuego, which is fire. It always makes sense because it's a fire crocodile. And then Coco could either be coconut, because the inside Coco is coconut, the inside is white, and the face is white. But the other things, people are saying that it could be a chili pepper.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a chili pepper in Spain that the outside is red, but the inside is white.
Oh, okay.
So there was also that. Also, people are saying it looks like an apple. I also thought that too. Could be like the family of like Appleton. I like
Or maybe it
apple.
might have to do with the evolution. The evolution might have like a tropical, or because it's gonna be like a crocodile, but it might have like a tropical looking
Yeah, so there's a
evolution.
few things people are saying. It looks like a bit like an apple. It could be a pepper. But then I was thinking,
Or it shoots fire coconuts or something similar to coconuts. It's just like
so coconut. But then I was thinking that because I heard of cocoa before, because when I was a kid, I may have heard something. Ha ha ha.
oh, that spooky story.
The spooky story.
That one seems like a stretch, but say it anyways.
El coco. Many Spanish parents spook their children by cautioning them of El Coco, a monster who snatches children away if they misbehave or refuse to sleep. And there was a popular rhyme that was attached to it, which I was told as a child. Duérmete niño, duérmete ya, que viene el coco y te comerá, which means sleep shall, sleep now, or else the coco will come and eat you.
Yeah.
Sounds much better in Spanish, but you know.
Yeah, because it rhymes. So
yeah.
That one seems like a stretch. Even though that is a popular story, it's just like.
But it's a popular story in Spain.
It is, but like this thing is the thing that's gonna eat you. Like it looks so small. Like
it's true, but I'm saying it could evolve.
Right, but usually the evolution is gonna have his own name and his own identity, almost like. Yeah,
so. But I'm saying, look, there's many inspirations for the starters for Final Evolution. One way could be they could take it to the route, and it could be like an inspiration to El Coco, or it could just take inspiration from the. I mean, you could just state as a alligator crocodile and just be like a flat dude just on the ground. That's just a big chunky dude. I would love that too.
I don't know. I think a girl to be bigger.
A fat alligator?
No, like a maybe chubbier for alligator. Mm-hmm. But it might have like a tropical design to it, hence the cocoa part, because coconut.
It could maybe the top tree, part could grow into something.
Yeah, kind of a bit of like Executor a bit.
That or how Chikorita evolved into Meganium and the plant. Yeah, that's true. It could have a tropical vibe. I was saying, Coco was interesting because when I first saw it, I wasn't sure what to think, other than the fact that it looks like a little dinosaur.
So next one is
it's Quaxley.
That was my favorite.
So Quack is obviously quack for duck, but the next
the part with the X.
Yeah, that's what people are thrown off. Like, how can that be Spanish? Like, well, it can, because back in the day,
then Spanish names had X's, right?
Yeah, Spanish names had X's in them.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing. So, and because when I took Spanish classes, when I had Spanish classes, because my first language is Spanish.
But high school, you need to take a.
Yeah, it was required.
You had to take a second language, and
yeah, exactly. So I got to read Don Quixote, which is one of the most popular and well-known novels throughout all history, because it came out in 1605, I want to say. Yeah,
and it's from Spain, and it's like the most popular novel in Spain, and one of the most popular novels in the world.
Exactly. So I thought that it because of that, it would make sense if the inspiration, this final evolution.
So Don Quixote is spelled with an X.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So those names were a thing. So people are saying it might have like a based off that, but it could be. But the design of Quaxley does have like a pirate or postman or like anything to do with voyages or ships, because that's a very big part of Spain's identity. And it literally in the game, it shows like a port town. Like, okay, water, port, dock, hat. That looks like pirate. Like, or deliver, you know.
Yeah, but the other reason I brought it up is because the main character in Don Quixote, he named himself that. It's just a wannabe knight.
Knight, yeah.
That will go on many, adventures with his friend Pancho. Sancho Panza. So that could be a whole thing. I'm saying, obviously, we're not saying that this is final. These are just
speculation.
Exactly.
It's based on Spain's culture.
Exactly.
I think the X could just be because of names in Spain where had X in it. So instead of Quack CK, they could go X because, the old school Spain names.
That could too.
That could
But
just
I'm saying
basically be it.
but also be clever to use the most well known novel also.
Right.
Just like how
I feel like a lot of Pokemon names are not that deep. And the English ones, I mean, maybe Japan is different, but the English ones tend to be not that deep. Like, I'm thinking about Gen 3 starters. Torchic, Combuskin, Blaziken. I mean, yeah. Chicken,
well
Blaze,
torch but
chicken, torch,
torch
chick.
well, yeah, because if you torch and a chicken,
Yeah.
because it's a chicken that breathes fire.
Yeah, so like think a lot
Blaziken could
of
be just a blaze because
chicken, Blaze and chicken, Blaziken.
exactly.
So a lot of Pokemon names was Occam's razor.
Combuskin.
Yeah.
How is combustion
Combustion and
and
then
then
chicken.
chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But the base of well, that was based on the Chinese zodiac, not like this one, that which always threw us off.
yeah, the Chinese zodiac
Fuecoco
meme.
is the only Fuecoco is the
The only fire type not based on Chinese zodiac.
yeah.
Well, some people say like for example, the fox one. Is always categorized under dog, but are foxes dogs?
Yes, foxes are cousins of wolves and dogs. No, that I'm sorry, I'm panicking, but you make sense.
Okay.
You make sense. It may be a stretch, but it's true. No, even no matter how you think about it, after many years of doing 8 generations, with the fact each generation the fire starter makes sense into the Chinese zodiac, it was not a, it was a calculated move to move away from that.
Yeah.
In Game Freak's part, because there's no such thing as coincidence. There was not a coincidence that 8 times we have fire starters that fall into the Chinese zodiac. It was not a coincidence. And now, if you really are going in the route of like, oh, we're going to have a soft reboot, we're going back to tradition where we have like colored names. Yeah.
But these are like
Open
kind of
world.
Yeah, but it is colors, but they're not simple colors. Red, blue,
They're
yellow,
shades.
green, or black and white. These are simple colors. They're going for like different shades. So it's a little more nuanced.
Well, it's because I mean, there's so many colors you could choose from.
Purple and pink have not even... Pink was a scrapped game, and purple never happened.
Well, the reason why it works now, because now, you know what? We could talk about it now. The flag. Obviously, the Spanish flag currently from Spain doesn't make sense with the names. But if you look back in time to the flag of La Republicana, the Second Spanish Republic, it had red, yellow, and dark purple.
Yeah, that one makes sense, I guess, if you want to go there, but it's weird. Why would they choose an old flag if you want to base it off that? I don't know.
Because you're going back in history. If they want to have some sort of story tying in, that would be the very good way to put it.
But it's set in modern day.
But it's obvious that some things... I mean, even that church was built back in the day.
Yeah, but the church is still going to be there. There's no way
it's still here.
Yeah,
still
exactly. So...
But it's obvious that they're trying to tie in some history into this new region. Even if it could be... It looks like it obviously set in modern times.
I don't know. I think they just wanted to go for...
Because the thing of the current Spanish flag, it would have been much harder to make the names because it's just 2 colors, if I'm not mistaken. And if they decide to make, for example, 3 main legendaries, where we have red, yellow, and dark purple from that second flag, which
people are saying there's a lot of food themes going on. Cocoa, coconut.
Yeah, because look, the flag over the Second Spanish Republic.
Brigados, using veggies and stuff. The stem using and greens, and then like Quaxley's a duck, and people eat duck. So like.
Oh no.
And this is of the grapes and the orange. Weird, right?
Well, that. But doesn't.
Wait, scarlet. I know. Wait, hold on. Because grapes, okay, and then the orange. Are you sure it isn't orange? What if it's a citrus? Isn't there like a citrus fruit that's like more reddish?
You talk about what's that? You're not talking about pomegranate, you can't.
I don't know.
Because the inside is pretty red.
Like there's a fruit that's citrus like, but when you cut it, and you open the inside, instead of like an orange, it's like a little bit reddish color.
Oh, grapefruit.
Are you sure it's grapefruit?
Yeah, it's grapefruit. I used to eat it back as a kid.
Yo, what if that symbol
Because
is
pomegranate is actually red inside.
what
Well,
if
those were red seeds, but pomegranate looks like a big orange, but it's
what if
red
that
inside.
citrus symbol is not an orange because a grapefruit could be like reddish,
But I don't know if they have
scarlet.
I don't know if grapefruit is a thing in Spain.
No, no, I'm talking about the symbols, like the food symbols. Because this all like the grapes are shown twice.
See, it's red inside.
Yeah, grapefruit.
It's a
Yeah,
deep red.
grapefruit. Yeah, it's weird, right? The citrus in the symbol with the plaque, and then that could be an orange or it could be a grapefruit. And then there's
has other origins though.
I'm not talking about origins. I'm talking about the plaque. How the plaques have a grape and a citrus. Could be an orange, could be grapefruit.
It looked more like an orange inside, but yeah, it goes.
But they didn't really show the color. It's just because
That's
it's a
true.
golden plaque. It could. And I'm saying like because a grape is purple, violet colored, and they could go for the grapefruit, which is the red in the inside, which would be considered to match the. Like there's a lot of food themes going on in the trailer and everything that's been shown. That could be a coincidence too, but I definitely noticed that.
It's okay.
I made a joke I think on Twitter saying Pokemon the next Pokemon games are gonna be Pokemon jelly, peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
I was sort of right. Jelly. Was
Yeah,
sort
but-
of right. Well, I was just memeing.
You were memeing, but is it that the current Spanish Spain flag is
Red
and
and yellow.
Yeah. So I feel like they could have.
I was thinking going like, look, the fact that they show a citrus and a grape as plaques right before showing or before or after showing the game footage.
This is from that flag.
Yeah, the old 1931 was it flag of Second Spanish Republic, 1931 to 1939.
It's known as la tricolor.
Spanish Republic government in exile until 1977. Its presence they use in Spanish associated with modern Republican movement, different trade unions, and various left-wing political movements. So that color was the one
There's
before.
There's no coincidence that these are the colors that were chosen.
Yeah, but it might not have to do with that old flag. It could, but it might not, because let's just go for an old flag that's no longer in use. Has been used since the 70s.
Oh, come on. All the things that we've seen Pokemon do, I'm not surprised by this.
I don't know. It's like...
I'm not surprised at this at all.
But it's a specific time period. It's not like... Because the Spain...
Doesn't mean
from 1930 to 1970. 1930 to 1970. That's a 40-year time span.
Well, it's actually already mostly just 1931 to 39. The 1977 thing, it was when it was a Spanish Republican government in exile.
Oh, okay. So it's such a short time period.
Yeah, but just because
it's like
it doesn't mean that they have to use it just so they could represent that time period. It could just be used aesthetically. It doesn't need to be used for that particular reason.
But that's strange to use a flag from such a short time frame.
I don't think it's that weird.
When literally the trailer is showing you.
But especially because when you first see the live action, it's old relics and old like.
Yes, that is old relics, but they're like, that's like.
In
1930s, yeah, it's old, but there's stuff that is older. Like, Spain goes way back. So I don't know. This seems it could be true. I'm not saying it's completely untrue that's what they got it from. Like, this is what they're going for. My theory has to do with the grapes and citrus, which sounds silly, but why would they go out of their way to show a plaque, 2 plaques with those fruits?
I'm surprised those plaques didn't end up in the logo of the.
No, let's talk about the logo. In Japan, the Japanese logo is a 6-sided star thing, right?
6-pointed star.
6-pointed star. That's strange.
Well, which we didn't get that in the English version.
No, but the Japanese usually uses those little logos to hint towards things like gameplay or gameplay elements or story elements. Like Mega Evolution has a little DNA thing for X and Y, right? And then Alola has the Z-move crystal in the in the little title of the game. And people were theorizing, what is that thing? And it turned out to be like the Z-move stuff. So this might have to do with the a core game mechanic, whatever that 6-star thing is, if it means anything. But the fact that they use it could mean a game core game mechanic or part of the story. That has big symbolism. There's no way people can like. There's no way that doesn't mean anything because literally in the Japanese title, and they tend to hint towards that. Um, so I think that like that part we can agree with. Like that part is big. Um, so those what else do you have so far?
The other things I have is that they could also base up Pokemon on Spanish myths.
Yeah, for like legendaries, which were not shown. No legendary so far. We don't know the cover or
Or
anything.
there's a lot
Pre-orders
of
are up, but there's no cover or anything.
well, pre-orders are up through Amazon, but I don't, as far as I know, not other retailers, not even other
But
countries yet.
poof, if it's up on Amazon, that means retailers are gonna get on it soon,
Mm-hmm.
which is like no cover.
No cover. Soon, I hope. So they could base off legendaries of a dragon, fairies. We could have Pokemon based off goblins and trolls, things like that. And I hope that we have one. Please, please, we need a little dude called Ratoncito Perez, please. It's a mouse.
Oh, they could. You know how Pikachu has so many Pikachu clones?
That would be the Pikachu clone.
Yeah, we got like a little mouse. We got like a little mouse. We're gonna get a little mouse. Loosely based off Ratoncito Perez.
Yeah, it's just I was thinking all the popular things like that came from Spain that they could
Right.
use in the game because they're well known. Ratoncito
We're gonna
Perez.
get that little Pikachu clone. Don't worry, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, the Ratoncito Perez, El Coco, Don Quixote, all those things that I was trying to think of all the popular things that I learned as a kid from Spain about Spain. We're not from Spain.
We're not from
From
Spain.
our ancestors, and our last name is from Spain.
Yeah.
But we're Latinos.
Yeah, we're regular Latinos, but our ancestors are from Spain, and our last name is derivatives from Spain.
Yeah, and we also learned a lot about Spain in school. So
yeah, Spanish classes. I've never seen. I'm not sure other states or countries, but the Spanish thought is usually from Spain.
So there's that. That's mostly what we have for right now. The other thing I wanted to say is that
What about the Portugal stuff?
Portugal. Well,
yeah, because there's a lot of Spain this, Spain that, but you said there's a base of peninsula between Spain and Portugal.
The reason I say that Iberia Peninsula is because when you see the maps, the map looks like what if you like both Portugal and Spain.
Which is interesting. This is like a dual. It could be a dual region. That open world dual, because why would they show two maps?
And the thing is,
or peninsula between two places.
Because the map really looks like both of them.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And is the landmass like each one's like same size?
There was no division, so I didn't see like a line.
No, I don't mean that. I mean like, because it showed Spain, it showed Portugal, where Spain and like
where Spain, Portugal would be. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, right? Does Spain look bigger, or like I don't know?
I mean, it didn't show because it was kind of covered, but it was definitely that map. Because if you could see the coastline.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you could see the coastline.
What if they do dual region?
They could. I mean, Portugal is much smaller, but they could.
It could. What if it's dual region, but both regions aren't necessarily that big? Johto region is small. Like in Johto back in the day, people were like, oh wow, two regions. Yeah, it was a big deal back then for sure. But if you really look at it now, Johto's small, and Kanto got also Kanto. They made it smaller too.
The reason I didn't make too much mention to Portugal is because I don't know too much about.
You don't know too much about Portugal at all, but I'm saying like the fact that they might go for two regions.
The only thing I know is that
or DLC, but
the only thing I know is that when I was there briefly on what you call that when you're, because for some reason I couldn't remember in Spanish because it's una escala, when you're making like almost like a transfer like from a plane to another plane.
Right.
What's that? I don't know. I actually forget how you call that in English. I just remember how you call that in Spanish.
We transfer. Yeah, when we get off the plane, but you have to transfer to another plane.
Yeah, that's called something. I
Yeah,
can't
I
remember.
know what you mean. I've seen it a lot on TV shows.
Oh, like for the people.
Connecting flight.
Yeah, well,
I worked at an airport. Yes, connecting flight. That's the name.
oh, that's just what it is.
Yeah, the connecting flight.
Because in Spanish it's scala. Um,
So the connecting flight. What about it?
well, it's because years ago when I had a connecting flight, um, when I was going to the UK for the first time, that's the only time I've ever been in Portugal. I was in
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, it was Lisboa. And the only thing I found really interesting is that the Spanish from Portugal, el Portugués, well, because they say Spanish.
Portuguese.
El Portugués and Portugal sounds so much like Spanish.
But it's not. Portuguese is its own language.
Yeah, I know, but it's just that it sounds so much like
Yeah,
Spanish.
it sounds like Spanish, but then like you're listening
Because
to it closer, like, wait, I don't understand you.
No, I actually could understand
You could
it.
understand it?
Yes, I could read the signs. I could understand what people are saying. Obviously, it's not exactly the
You
same.
can't speak it, but you can
No.
understand what they're saying, right?
Yeah, because it's not the same.
It's like Italian a little bit. Like Italians, you could somewhat understand a little bit.
A little bit, but this is it was so
Portuguese
close.
is more closer,
It
right?
was so close. It's actually kind of insane.
Weird.
No, it was like, because when people think of Portuguese, they think of the one in Brazil. And that one is a thing that exists, and
Yeah.
it's very different.
Yeah.
When you hear it, it almost sounds like it could be like, kind of like French, like, or French Canadian, but it doesn't sound like Spanish exactly.
Right.
I had my old boss was from Brazil, and when I heard him speak in Portuguese, I couldn't really understand him.
But if you hear someone from Portugal speaking Portuguese, it sounds more like Spanish.
So close.
So
It was
close.
so close that I didn't have to speak any English or anything there, because in the airport I just spoke to them in Spanish and they understood me. Because I needed to get around.
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
It was really crazy. That's my most that was my most memorable experience of Portugal. Your Portuguese is so close to Spanish.
Imagine just going there. I always wanted to go to Spain.
Me too.
Portugal is like a meme country. I'm just kidding.
Hey. Yo, no, but yeah, our grandma was there. Oh, so
I heard it's nice over there, right?
Yes. And so our grandma went, and she brought back a painting of a dancing lady. Hey.
Isn't that from Spain?
But she went to Spain.
Right.
And she brought back.
Oh, right. The Spain thing. I'm talking about Portugal.
No.
Has she ever been to Portugal? Have you known anyone who went there? I don't know jack about Portugal.
No, I was because remember you mentioned about this dancing lady.
Yeah, there's a dancing lady painting in the trailer, in the house, in the villa. You're right.
And I said, why does it look so much like the painting in our grandma's house?
Because she got it from Spain. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yep. Wow.
I know. I was like full circle, bro.
Yeah, there's so much. There's so much here. Like, that's crazy.
There is.
All right, there's a lot going on. So that's everything. That was our analysis, I guess. Yeah. Pretty cool vibes. Thanks for listening, and have a good one.
Good night.